Buenos dias from Costa Rica. Tobin here. This video today is an update that I haven't done in at least a year, I think. I'm going to do a tour for the first time of the entire Jungle Temple property as I've cultivated it over the past 3-4 years living in Costa Rica. So I'm going to try to name everything that I see and that I've planted, but I may miss some things, but I'm going to try to keep this as quick as possible, under 30 minutes maybe. If not under an hour, definitely. But to start, in front of my house here, I have the chili peppers. So there's several variations. These are the Panameños, these are the chocolate habaneros, these are a Bulgarian carrot chili, super spicy, and then I have another chocolate habanero. Quick reason I have these here, obviously easy to grab to cook with, but also as you know, they hit the ground and they fall off the tree, they actually keep pests away from the house. So little hack tip. In front of them, in front of the house, we have a guanabana, which is beginning to flower and fruit right now. Down here, I have some culantro, and then there's arnica, tobacco. This is tobacco, I have that lining here. We have a cactus, coconut, that's a pomegranate. This is a guava. It goes on and on. This is caviar lime, and I actually think, let me get it around here. There are a few caviar lime fruits. You can see a few in here, right? Up in there. These are fantastic. And I've just been lining the walkways with lemongrass mixed in with flowers. There's some type of citrus. I think that's actually going to be a grapefruit. I plant seeds everywhere, so sometimes I forget what I've planted, but this is something called chan. This was growing naturally, and Costa Ricans use this as like a nice fresh drink. I grab it and I smell it because it really is like a fragrant, delicious smell. So I'll walk around my property as I'm working, and if I'm in need of a little bit of energy and stuff, I just grab one of these and it picks me up. Then I come right next to that. I tear off some lemongrass, squeeze it up, break it up, get that essence coming out, and breathe that in. And that's literally what I do all day. I found these flowers dying over by the river, the dried riverbed in the summer season, and I've relocated them, and then they've flourished here. So we've got some nice white flowers, we've got some yellow matrimonios. You see the orange and the yellow in the back. Nice big Bismarck palm, avocado, acerola cherry, a red version of what was just the yellow and the orange. The tennis court, we don't need to see that. And I'm going to continue. So what's really awesome is as you start planting flowers, they spread everywhere. So these guys are moving everywhere. This is the beginning of the nursery here. So I have pots filled with a bunch of seeds that were just planted this week. So they're going to be blooming soon. And I've started to sporadically put flowers into this area. And I'm going to fill this entire little triangle entryway area. So as people walk into the property, this is going to be filled with dozens of variations of flowers, just like a beautiful garden. This guy is a mangosteen. Behind that, a flower. Behind that, cotton, actually. Behind that, a mango. Another caviar lime. This right here is a cacao. I don't think we have any fruits right now on this one, but the other ones do. Another cacao on the fountain. I have some dragon fruit growing. Coconut. This is the caviar lime, the second one. This is a caimito. This is another guanabana. This is another chocolate habanero. These are blue java bananas. Behind that, we have another acerola cherry, which actually just shed a lot of fruit. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been eating those fruits. I have a bunch of variations of chilies here. There's, man, I don't know. There's sweet peppers. There's jalapenos. There's, I think, shishito, the Japanese pepper. This is turmeric. We have some spinach growing. This is another citrus that planted itself, and it's growing next to our little kitchen building. This is the big orange tree, which actually has oranges growing right now. You can see those little green balls on there. Those are oranges that in a few months will be giant, delicious oranges. Actually, in a few weeks probably, because I've harvested half a dozen this week that were of size already. So it's coming along. Now we move on to a favorite part. Canela, cinnamon in English. So this will grow up and the bark will scrape off and then dry it, and that will become fragrant, tasty cinnamon. And here underneath the giant Guanacaste tree, the 600-year-old mama of our property, which drapes dragon fruit on all sides, we have my little coffee farm. So here are all coffee plants, coffee trees, and you can see all the coffee beans coming in. My friend with a coffee farm in Terrazoo taught me how to do this. I studied some YouTube videos, and these guys are growing spectacular. You got them even changing to ripe, so that one's turning red. We can harvest all of these soon. You can see I think there's about 35 or 40 of them here. And then next to them, plantains, moringa. This odd looking little tree here is moringa. I'll come up next to it. But these are my little coffee farm. This is moringa. I almost ran into the spider. I don't know if you can see him. So this is moringa. These interesting leaves. This is very fragrant and a super medicine. And in this area, just plantains, coconuts coming in. And I've begun to curate sort of a walkway going towards the river and the island, which I'm going to show you guys today for the first time. And as I turn over this way, so behind me is the river. That direction is the road and the bridge, if you're familiar with this property. And as I'm rotating, I've got a big coconut tree. This is the killer coconut. That's the one, if you stand underneath it, it drops the coconut, you will die. So I try to stay away from this thing. Eventually, I'll probably take it down and cultivate a garden in this area as well, a lot of flowers, because this behind me, I'm building into an entranceway. So I've planted various almonds, beach almonds, birds of paradise, and various other flowers and beautiful kind of native ornamentals that I found growing around the property that I've relocated to here. And I'm creating this double entranceway, and eventually we'll have this as some type of walkway, probably like a raised teak wood, like a dock that walks from this higher level of the coffee farm down to there. And then hopefully, eventually, we'll have a bridge that goes across that to the island. So I'm just gonna step over here. I have another cinnamon, and then behind that are several avocados, a couple cacao. This big tree is a mango tree. So this is one of our big producers. I have two. The other one is behind my house, and we'll get to that eventually. This tree here, you can't really see it because the shadows, and it's actually in between two mangoes, is a guayaba. And then in that little zone is another walkway to go down to the river, which I may show you at some point, but we may not get over there because there's really nothing to show. It's just a nice little kind of pathway into the river. So now I'm walking through this area I've carved out that I take to get to my island, quote unquote. It's not a true island, but in regards to my property, it is separated by this little brook that does become a raging river when it rains. But very nice, very clean water. You can see from the mountains, and it just carves its way in over through the bridge that hopefully will be replaced soon. So now this is my little muddy kind of walkway. Eventually I'd like to have the help of Terrabellum Collective, and we can build a like peat walkway or some type of stone walkway here to get up. And then, like I said, eventually I'd like a bridge that goes across. So this is my island. This is one of my favorite spots because it's kind of like a second property. So here I've been cultivating and curating. This is a guayaba. All these guys that are coming in are plantains, like true nice big giant plantains. I have some yucca. These leaves here that look like a cousin of cannabis are yucca. A little avocado, pineapple, jalapeno pepper, pineapple. I actually do have tobacco in here, but something ate the leaves, but they're starting to grow back. Tobacco is very resilient. I think I have, I'd say north of 50, maybe 70 throughout here, and I just got a weed. I come through once a week and I pull some of these weeds to let the tobacco have its own space, but this soil is super fertile. This is a little guanabana that's coming in our tobacco field, another avocado. I just cleared this area out. I'm going to do a lot of different chili peppers here. And then I have some bananas I've planted. These are more blue Java bananas. Another guava coming along this back line. You see this dirt that's kind of cleared out. Yesterday I planted corn, and you can actually see some of the seeds that, some of the corn kernels that didn't get covered. You just do a little bit of that, crush a little bit of that. And I scattered a bunch of corn here, and I buried some because I want a lot to grow. So corn, this is a cacao I transferred. Not doing great right now, but hopefully it survives and grows roots. All the plantains, another cacao, more yucca. We've got a lot of plantains coming in over here, you can see. So in another maybe week or two, I could harvest a few dozen plantains. And then this is kind of the edge, the front edge of my property on the island side. And now we're gonna walk to the back edge. See the plantains over my shoulders. Got our yucca. And then so this is like a walkway that gets a little flooded when the river floods. And I've been planting, I just planted an almond here. Looking out for snakes, you gotta be careful. Shit moving. Bananas, so I planted a dozen or so blue java bananas around here. Got some plantains, there's another guava. So that there is the side edge of my property that you saw over by the bananas and plantains there. And that's where the river enters, and then it goes up this way. We're actually going to walk up that way in a moment. So I've planted that with a lot of trees for rooting so that they, prevent decay, deterioration, erosion. That's the word I was looking for, erosion. And then here, just on this island, I have some birds of paradise in between bananas, coconuts, birds of paradise. So lots of flowers. When I find flowers as I'm chopping the grass, I try to chop around them and let them grow. And we're gonna cultivate this whole area behind me like a little walk-through supermarket for anybody that stays here at the property. Very private. This is stuff that, of course I'll be harvesting and selling, but if someone stays here in future cabins, they can hang out in a cabin by the river, by the manzana de aguas. So these 4 big giant trees are water apple. Amazing. If you've never had one, find water apples or come visit the jungle temple. A couple times a year, we have thousands. So yeah, next step, next couple years is building cabins and living spaces and cool glamp tents and maybe geodesic domes and stuff. Geodesic, I don't know if I say it right, but yeah. And they'll be kind of implanted behind those trees. So anybody that comes and stays here can walk up here. I've got little walkways carved out. Come up, grab some bananas, grab some food for the day, some chili peppers, whatever you want. If you like smoking tobacco, I'll have it drying. Go grab some tobacco, roll yourself a nice organic cigarette. Relax for the day. So this is another angle of the little quebrada. Remember I said there was a walkway coming in? This is that other walkway. It's right by a couple coconut trees and the guava. So there's actually lots of fruits on there. I'm gonna go harvest some of those later today. And then walking through, we've got fishies. Can you see the fish in the light? So I've got some fish in the little river. They love eating avocado. So when I have abundant avocado, I throw some in here in this little pool they have, and they feast and grow and help with the environment. I like a little ecosystem here. So yeah, this is all sugarcane growing next to the manzana de agua. Again, for erosion control, rooting. Yeah, this is cool. It's like a low area. A nice private kind of jungly area. So I let this grow a little more natural so the monkeys can hang out and maybe draw in sloths and other indigenous species that weren't here because it was just all grass or just, lizards. Lizards are very alike and similar to snakes when they move sometimes. So this is the back edge of the property by the river that I showed you from up there a moment ago. And I just carved through here. The only thing I have to worry about is spider webs, hopefully. And yeah, so this is my little like jungle area. You could see out to the soccer field and the plaza. No snakes, please, guys, go away. So here is kind of riverbank, you could say. I just chopped out some of this week, and eventually, because this is high ground and it's nice and backed by plantains, and there's coconuts around here, but it's got some clearing and some elevation. I think we'll clear out this big old coconut that's got to go at some point, and then we could build a little cabin here. And this would be a cool private little entryway. We'll do a little teak bridge, a little wood bridge that goes over this area, and I'll plant a ton of flowers in this corner, of which now I have a mango tree. But I'm going to clear all that out and bring a ton of the flowers I have elsewhere, fill this up, because eventually we'll build a little cabin up in that area and have a walkway. We'll have access. There's, I think, orange is going to come in. I got bananas here, yucca again, big yucca farm. I've got like 30 plantings here. All the manzana de agua. Again, you can see cuadrados. That's another form of plantain, sweet plantain. And this is the back border of my property. I don't think this has ever been shown, or I should say the side corner, the side back. So along the border, I've planted a lot of fruit trees and flowers, ornamentals, tabacón, which are these purple guys. So I've got them all lined up, and they're going to eventually grow, 10, 15 feet tall and provide a nice border. Another banana. And then this is the back corner. We've got a pretty big Guanacaste tree, probably 200 to 300 years old, perhaps. Not quite as big as the one in the front, but yeah, some epic trees on this property, kind of rounding the edges and corners. So here is the back edge of my property. This is a back gate that goes out to the extended property. Next to me, you can see all those trees. That is a papaya farm that belongs to one of my neighbors, Papillo. Not his real name, like a nickname. But they produce, man, what I would estimate is millions, probably tens of millions of papaya every year at this farm. And he's just a neighborhood guy, like really nice guy, sweet, genuine. He employs at least 20 people that I see every day that are out there, working on weeding everything and making sure the fruits are looking good and pest control and all that stuff. So, and then harvesting, of course. So there's a really cool papaya farm. What's nice is that river runs right through their farm to my property. So the papayas that drop get redistributed during storms to my property, and they start growing. So thank you, Papillo. Thank you, nature, and the flow of rivers. So thank you for that. But anyway, this area back here is essentially not really used by anybody. My next door neighbor Pablo has his, cows graze there sometimes, and there's some teak. So the trees that you do see are teak that eventually they'll harvest and use for furniture and things like that. So what we would like, and what I'm going to project, and what I do plan eventually as my personal wealth goes up and my business starts to make money, I would like to acquire a lot of this land back here and essentially just replicate what I've been doing on my property with the food forest and flowers, botanical garden. And this year we're going to start adding animals. So the first you'll see in these videos will be chickens and quail, and then hopefully a cow or two. I asked Pablo, my neighbor, next time he has a baby, please consider me first before, selling it at the subasta, the auction. Make it easier, just sell it to your neighbor. You save transportation costs and a day at the auction. And then I would like to get sheep as well, and eventually horses. I've mentioned that before, but I would like to get stuff so we could have eggs and we could have cheese and milk and things like that. So these areas eventually, as our animal tribe grows too, will be grazing areas for all the animals as well. So I'd like to extend that space. I do have plenty of space here. Just under 1 hectare, which is like 2.5 acres, just about 3 acres. And I've just been cultivating the food forest. So all along, you see every about 3 to 5 meters, I have either a plantain or a banana. This is an orange tree that's, got a little choppy, but it's coming back. And I have an almond here. This is another mango, plantain, flowers. And then behind me, these are the manzana de agua. I don't believe there are any fruits. This is a surprising tree. Sometimes it's just random fruits, but not right now. They're delicious. So yeah, just flanked with plantains. So there's always food around. So as we build cabins in this area, which I've discussed in past videos, people will have food that they can just grab, bring it over to the kitchen building, which I've shown several times over by the chili pepper section, by the fountain, by my house. That's a community kitchen. So as people come and stay in their little domiciles here, they can gather some food, go over to the kitchen and prepare it, or I will happily prepare it. I'm sure we'll have other people living here at some point that will gladly prepare it. Got some beach almonds planted here because there's a little bridge. So you see these sticks I have set up. I got to straighten this guy out. I have ayahuasca in all four corners, and ayahuasca is a vine. So my idea is the vines are going to climb up these sticks and eventually meet each other and intertwine all four and create an ayahuasca tunnel that goes over this little bridge area that you can see I have flanked with lemongrass. So that's my idea, like a fragrant medicinal ayahuasca tunnel that the guests walk through to go to their living space over here. I have purple sugar cane. That's a really sweet, good sugar cane. I also have the yellow sugar cane. Again, this is ayahuasca. If anybody's familiar, it's not a super big vine, but eventually it will be, and it will create a tunnel over this little bridge area. So coming along here, we have two cas, which is like a Costa Rican guava, native to here. I think these are a couple of limes that I've been pruning and cultivating, so hopefully they start growing fruits this year. They're looking pretty good. More yucca, plantains, yucca, beautiful purple flower. This is the little rancho area that will be the community shower and bathroom area. This is a big mango that produces a lot of fruit. More limes and flowers intermingled. This is, although it's beautiful, this is a vine, invasive vine. So you just, oh, they're so strong sometimes. Let's see if I can do it with the camera. Oh, just grab it and walk. But look how long this guy is. Look how thick he gets too. So these guys like to hold on to the lime trees. A lot of the ornamental bushes I use on the edge of the property. But once you figure them out, they're pretty easy to remove. Just gotta make sure there's no big snakes hanging on it, right? Because the snakes like to climb things, and a vine seems like a good thing to climb. If I were a snake, I would climb a vine. I would blend in. Oh, I haven't done this in a while on this guy. Glad we're doing it today. You're here with me, supporting me on this journey of vine demolition. All right, that's it for now. Whew, look at that. That's all that vine. Crazy, right? More sugar cane, more plantains, bananas. I got them everywhere, trying to produce food. This is a big avocado tree, and these are the big, giant, creamy Costa Rican avocados. Currently flowering. I was out here a couple days ago. There's no fruits right now, but hopefully soon, yes, many fruits. Big caimito, also flowering. You can see the flowers coming in and some tiny fruits coming in. So this will have thousands. I think the dogs hear me and they're going ape shit. This is a big avocado tree too. Not fruiting at the moment. I've got to prune some of the top, encourage it to grow out laterally more. And yeah, so this is a little line of flowers and ornamentals I've been planting along what I call the inner border, because this will be eventually a walkway for everybody going to the cabins. This guy with the roof will be converted into a cabin at some point. So we're gonna use that wood for firewood for the restaurant, for the smoker, and we'll put a foundation here and close in the walls and make that a little rentable cabin. Lime tree, oh sweet, this guy's got limes coming in. We've got a producer. I've got many variations of limes here, which is really nice. This guy's a big producer every year. You can see, yeah, there's a bunch there already. They're actually all over it. Yep, all over here. Lots of limes. So I've continued this line around my property, and I kind of intermingle or implant in different places various flowers as well with these ornamentals, just to make it really beautiful, you know, to have my inner property where my personal house is just enclosed with like a wall of beauty rather than building a physical wall or putting a fence up. this is my idea. And then this guy here will grow super tall vertically. It actually won't get much wider than about its diameter right now, and it'll just grow vertically infinitely as long as it's alive. So this will be a cool little corner piece to close in my personal property. Another lime. This little guy that's growing is something I rescued from near death. You can see it's doing really well now down here at the bottom. This is a strawberry guava. This is a very rare variation of guava that I'm excited to see and try. I've never had it, so hopefully another year or two we'll get fruits. Some plantains, sugar cane throughout, because we like to build another small home here with an entranceway between these two palms. To the right is the tennis court. And you've got various, bananas and different fruits, and I have some jalapenos planted in there. That's oregano over there. Here's some more turmeric, because I've planted things around where the homes will be eventually. There's another citrus, lemon. We've got just, every few meters, plantains again, and then another citrus. In the back corner there is a big guanabana that produces a lot of fruits every year. The guest cabin, that's already almost finished, 95%. And then again, I've done borders along here. So this property is separated from the one I'm currently on, and just kind of creating these natural fences with the resources I have at this property, which will also be, everything you've seen will be for sale at the vivero, which, oh man, where are we? August? The way that I am pacing it right now, I will probably be open once summer comes around, like November, December. I would like to open the vivero officially and start selling a lot of the things I've been pruning, cultivating, curating in this garden, and that are able to be cloned, and that I have seeds from. And I'm going to plant hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of bags of seeds that will grow into trees and plants that I will be selling soon. So here in front of the cabin, we have a guava. I have another avocado here. I'm building this little walkway out, and eventually this will be an actual walkway, whether stone or concrete like the rest of the property. This will soon be transformed into our chicken hotel, chicken coop and quail area. So we're going to build with all of this wood that was left here, all this teak, lots of material. I want to utilize all of this. Everything that you see will be transformed into like a giant hotel living space, safe space, feeding space, and hatching space for the chickens, egging space, laying eggs, everything. We're going to build, I have a friend, Mark, who's done this before. He's built a lot of enclosures for chickens and many other things. So he's coming, we're going to work together for a day, a couple days, and build a little hotel in this area. And this back part of what will be the restaurant will be our source of poultry. And most importantly, more likely, eggs. Because I don't think we're going to be killing the animals ever. But yeah, so that's going to be the little chicken area, quail area, eventually other animals as well. And then along the tennis court here, just by the restaurant, I've planted some things, whether they're flowers or turmeric or plantains, bananas. We've got the nice tabacone. So this is a treasured plant bush here in Costa Rica. So I've got them at the corners of the restaurant. Eventually, we're going to finish this and renovate the restaurant and the kitchen. And that will happen in the next year. And then I've been clearing out that corner cabin, and we'll eventually turn that into a little pulperia, a little store. Contemplating calling it Super Mario after my father, and the obvious reference of the video game. I thought that would be a clever play on words and cute, and people could say, I'm going to Super Mario's. I think that would be a cool thing. Maybe I'll get shirts that are obviously not copyright infringement, but I went to Super Mario's and won, or something like that. Something cute. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't sue me and they collaborate. But this guy is a little carambola. What do they call this? The star fruit. So this is not the sweet one. This is the like citric-y one, which goes really well with orange and like an orange juice mix, or mixes into a drink like orange juice. So fantastic. Soon, I found a new vivero around here. I'm going to be getting the sweet one as well. So I'm going to put that somewhere nearby. So we have sweet and citrusy star fruits growing. So cousins. Here's the front of the restaurant. I'm going to be painting that soon. I would like to get a muralist. I'm talking to a few talented folks that maybe will come in and do a cool Vasconia mural there. And yeah, and just renovating, you know, fix the bricks a little bit, power wash the floor. Good to go. Nice rustic place, open air. Put a couple fans in there. Got this outdoor table. I'm gonna build a little kind of concrete base in there so people could put some chairs, and it's elevated. I've got a bunch of lemongrass growing around the side of the building. Where are we there? For a nice odor, because guess what that is? The ventilation for the bathroom. So that lemongrass is functional. Along this border, a couple years ago, I planted all these beautiful purple and green guys. So they're filling up that wall that goes to my neighbor Pablo and family's house. And they're just gonna climb over and create just this beautiful ornamental wall that covers that brick wall, that concrete wall. So it's gonna look nice for both of us, both sides. And this is the little pulperia. Excuse me, let me change the angle. This will be Super Mario's one day. I've just been cleaning it out piece by piece. This was in terrible shape. So yeah, again, same thing as the restaurant, power wash. I mean, clean the rest of it, probably replace a lot of this wood with either bamboo or teak, and just update everything. It does have electric running, so we'll replace that fan and light, and then it does have plumbing. So we're good to go there. And it does have a little bathroom, a little kitchen area, which is cute. So I did recently, this is a fun one. So avocado, coconut, plantains, a lot of turmeric over there. So a lot of what the restaurant will need will be growing here. And then I'm trying to avoid these spiders. Do you see these guys? Not necessarily dangerous, but they still do bite. So this here, this vine is vanilla. That's actually vanilla, and you can see the leaf. For anybody that questions me, look up the leaf of vanilla in that vine. So this is a native vanilla to here, Vasconia. So here's the story and the history of this. I had a guy that was, for my first year, like, you know, my landscaper, my gardener, my groundskeeper, essentially Chenny. And he's in some videos in the past. And he taught me all about the land, but at the same time, I know a lot of plants and trees and herbs and things and spices that he didn't know. So it would be this constant exchange of knowledge and actually plants that I would give him to go plant and show him what I bought at these special, you know, nurseries, and one of which was vanilla. So he had in his mind, a good memory, what vanilla looked like. And one day he was chopping, doing work all the way back there, like maybe 100 meters, 150 meters that way. And he stumbled upon what he thought looked like vanilla. So he came and got me. We walked over there, and lo and behold, it was a native Costa Rican vanilla from Vasconia. A little fun fact, to pollinate the flower of vanilla, you actually have to do it by hand with like a little spine or needle. Otherwise, it won't get pollinated. That flower will just drop and it won't turn into the pod that then becomes the vanilla pod. Costa Rica, as far as I know, is the only country in the world on the planet that has a bee or a wasp of some sort, or a hornet, not sure which, that has the ability to pollinate vanilla. Of all the countries in the world, Hawaii and Java and all these other places that grow vanilla, Costa Rica is the only country in which there is a native species that does the pollination and creates the pods naturally. So that's pretty cool. So I've planted it everywhere around the property. And if you see those taller purple tabacones that I've shown you a few times, yeah, those taller ones, those guys love to grow with vanilla, and vanilla loves to grow up them. That said, dragon fruit, pitaya, loves to grow on many things too. So a couple years ago, this is just a flowering tree, right? It has nice, beautiful white flowers normally. I threw some dragon fruit on it, a little piece, and over the last 2 years, it's become these giant pieces and will soon be sprouting fruits. So this tree also loves to grow things, right? There's a cool ornamental growing on it that I put on. So this tree likes to support things, and we'll have dragon fruit to grab right for the restaurant, along with all this turmeric, all this tall stuff here. These guys, this is all curcuma or turmeric. Here's another avocado that's been here for a few years, so probably 2 or 3 more years, this will be producing fruits right for the restaurant. And these are those big, I call them suave, the smooth, creamy Costa Rican giant avocados. This is a cotton tree. It's not producing right now, but that's usually got beautiful flowers. A little statuary I have there. My basketball court, tennis court. This is the little sauna building. I don't know why anybody would use a sauna here. And here we are back to the front of my property. Lemongrass everywhere, right? Lining the property. Ooh, I'm having trouble tearing it. Lemongrass. Ah, magic. Another avocado. The dog's hearing me and wondering what's going on. And yeah, my little front garden. So we've got the Bismarck palm again. The flowers, lemongrass, everything coming in. Beautiful pinks, reds in the back. Oh, I forgot to show this one. We're gonna finish with this. They're crazy. They're so excited. They want to be on video. That's what it is. This is my favorite. This is like, I don't know, like a lipstick brush. And I've seen one in purple recently, so I've got to find that and put that into my little garden here. So behind me is going to be filled with flowers in the next couple of videos that you see, hopefully in the next coming years. And I'm going to fill certain sections of the property up with all the flowers I grow. I think I've got at least 50 variations. And I'm just going to be making these bouquets all over the property soon. So here's a good one. I love this guy. Very cool. Cilantro. We're just going to go over what's growing in these vivero bags. This is either watermelon or like a calabaza, like squash. Ayahuasca. So these are things that are for sale at my vivero. Everything that I'm showing you right now in the bags is all going to be for sale. Ginger, lettuce, turmeric. These are all filled with various seeds I just put in. This is cacao again. Acerola cherry, avocados. I've got various chili peppers. I think there's ghost pepper. This one is the shishito pepper, and this one is a lemon jalapeno. Ornamentals, flowers, coffee. I've got some coffee growing, spinach, sabila, which is aloe vera. These are goji berry in my front yard. They're so crazy. Some ornamentals I'm growing that we're going to be selling, so I'll have hundreds of bags of these. These type guys too. These are a beautiful flower that has like a pinkish purple hue and very unique looking flower that drapes. And more ginger, rosemary, amazing. Proven as a medicine for the memory and Alzheimer's and all that. So if you know anybody with Alzheimer's or dementia, get rosemary around them as often as possible. You might be able to help even just a little bit, so why not, right? So yeah, anyway, what else I got? Oh, I got a little more, the middle section. So here's that kitchen building. There's my house. I've got it flanked with these beautiful flowers that come in. Yep, they look like this. So these trees will be filled up with these beautiful flowers soon. And they kind of are creating like a tunnel as I walk out of my house over here. And when people walk in from the living spaces in the future, they'll be going through this beautiful flower tunnel as it's lining the side of my house too. These are miracle fruit. If you guys haven't heard of miracle fruit, look it up. It really is a miracle food, miracle fruit. Very interesting. It turns sour things sweet. For like 30, 40 minutes after you eat one of those fruits, you can eat anything of any flavor, bitter, sour, and it will all taste sweet. Magical. Look into miracle fruit. I'll have them for sale here soon. Pomegranate, cool little chili pepper. It looks like it would be spicy, but it's not. It's got like kind of a sweet pepper flavor, like a bell pepper, but very, very nice. And it's not a trick. You can grab any one. Not spicy. Very nice. You could cook with them, or I just grab them and eat them. Beach almonds. So this is going to bring macaws into my property and also bring in the canopy, connect the canopy, and create shade so the grass won't grow as long. That's the big mango. Another big mango. This is a big oregano. This is the source of every other oregano I've shown you. This is the first coffee tree that we had on property. This was here when I moved here, when I bought the property. And I'm lining again my inner wall with a lot of flowers and ornamentals up until what will be the community bathroom. And I'm going to close in this back wall with flowers soon too. So I don't have access to that. That's for the people that come stay here eventually. Backside of my property, my laundry room area. Over here, these little bushes are mora, which will be blackberry. Oh, we can see them here. So this is like a blackberry. And then this is habotakaba. This is a very unique fruit. You should look it up. Right off the bark of the tree, the little berry grows. It's like a mix between a grape and a blueberry, interestingly. So yeah, my border is growing, looking nice. I'm underneath the mango right now. This is the tree the monkeys like to be in. And we're gonna finish up here. Raspberry. So I planted this one and it's now spread to 2. There's a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th coming in. So this little back area by what will be the community bathroom will be our raspberry bramble. I think that's what you call it. A group of bushes of raspberries is a bramble, for those that didn't know. Oh, no. This is a fun one. This is a flower. This is literally a cousin of cannabis. As you can see, the leaf is very much like marijuana, cannabis. But as you can see flowering, it is not cannabis. Just in case anybody's trying to say, Toby's growing weed, I am not. For the last time, I am not. But these might look like cannabis, but they're not. It's a beautiful purple flower that you cannot smoke. And I don't recommend smoking it, but it's beautiful. And it's growing randomly all over my property. I planted it once and it's spread everywhere. So here I am in my canopy that I've curated. Isn't that so cool? Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Canopies and tunnels all over this property next year. So guys, for now, thank you. That's it. The tour of the jungle temple. This is the first official one that went all the way around the property. And here I am in front of my favorite guanabana right in the front yard. The anti-cancer fruit for those that are in the know. Guys, thank you. I love you, truly. Thank you, every one of the subscribers. At the time we're at, I think I have 1,130 in the 30s. Thank you to every one of you. Thank you for every view. Thank you for sharing this with your friends and family who are visiting or moving to Costa Rica, many of whom have reached out to me for tours, experiences, just getting connected. When they've moved here, they've reached out to me to grow their food for us, and that means so much, because that's why I'm doing this, to inspire other people to do it as well, and to grow so much food so abundantly that you have to share it with others, and hunger disappears off of the planet in 1 generation. We can do that. Nobody else is going to do it for us. We know it's obvious at this point. We can't trust those in power who should do it for us. So this is the easiest way that we can fix a huge problem on planet Earth. Grow your own food, teach other people to grow their food, and grow so much of it that you have to share it with those in your community and people who need it. And we can eliminate hunger across this planet within 1 generation. Let's give it a try. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I love you either way. And have a wonderful, wonderful day, whichever day it is that you see this. Pura vida.